What's up guys, Rogue9 here, and today I have a bit of a mini update for you. I've been hearing some rumours that with the last Rainbow Six Siege patch, there were some unannounced updates that snuck their way in. Specifically, the recoil for some of these secondary SMGs is supposed to feel different, and there is also an alleged change to the first-person animation and aim punch when you get hit by explosions. So, let's dig into these rumours and see what we can find out. Starting out with the changes to the aim punch. Oh, that's a really good start today. Okay then. Starting out with the changes to the aim punch and animation when your character is affected by explosions, let's look at what the hand grenade explosions used to look like during Operation Void Edge in the first-person view. And then what they look like after the most recent Steel Wave patch. That looked pretty similar, right? We can also compare the explosions in split screen to see if that helps. And again, I would say that there isn't really any difference. To be sure, I also ran tests with impact grenades, here a before and after view. And side by side. And I also tested nitrocells and even breach charges, and for every single test I ran, the effect on the character model stays exactly the same. Does that mean that the reports from players experiencing different explosion hit animations are false? No, not at all. This is Rainbow Six Siege after all, and there is no such thing as a patch update without bugs. It just doesn't happen, and so it is very much possible that there is a new bug in the game that will sometimes affect how players experience explosions in first-person view. I was not able to replicate this phenomenon in any of my tests, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist under certain circumstances for other players. But what I could conclude here is that there's not been a sneaky update that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, but instead we're probably dealing with an unintended bug. Testing the allegations around secondary SMG recoil changes was a bit of a slog. I ran over 80 trials where I recorded the recoil of different machine pistols on both the old Void Edge build and the newest Steel Wave build, and for some weapons, the conclusion was astoundingly easy. On the left here is the Void Edge recoil pattern using up the entire ammo of Kali and Clash's SMG9, and on the right is the same gun pattern but in Steel Wave. Check out what happens when we merge the two patterns. Huzzah, it's a miracle! Unbelievably, the random shot patterns are 100% exactly the same. What an unbelievable coincidence! Like, seriously though, I don't believe this. There's no way that this is just coincidence, and I think the entire question of randomized recoil needs further exploration, but let's leave that for a different video. For now, I think it's safe to say that the recoil for the SMG9 has not changed, like, at all. But other guns did at first appear to have a consistently different recoil from one build to the next. The C75, for instance, looks to have a much stronger horizontal recoil than before, and the SMG11 had consistently more vertical recoil in my Steel Wave trial than it did during Void Edge. But from past experience, I know that even a full pattern after chewing through all of the ammo of a gun can look quite different from one trial to the next, even when playing on the exact same version of the game, simply due to the randomized nature of the recoil. So I decided to run a whole bunch of additional trials focusing on the SMG11, and I made sure that each individual recoil pattern would be recognizable, and I started to compare. After shooting, screenshotting, and comparing literally dozens of patterns, my conclusion once again has to be that there is no intentional change in this gun's recoil in the new season. Not only are there patterns that are very similar from one build to the next, but just like with the SMG9, I even managed to identify patterns that were exactly the same. Not almost the same, not extremely similar, but actually identical. And while this phenomenon throws up its own set of entirely new questions, the simple conclusion for now is that for the SMG11, and all other machine pistols for that matter, the recoil in Operation Steel Wave appears to be unchanged to what it was before, at least as far as I can tell with my testing methods. And that's it really. I love digging into rumours about hidden changes as much as the next guy, but in this case it seems that neither the aim punch effect of explosions nor the recoil of secondary SMGs has changed, and that these rumours stem either from bugs that individuals may have been experiencing or simply from misperceptions. Have you noticed anything that seems off or different this season? Let me know in the comments section below, and with that, many thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next episode.